Hello beautiful souls and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aura and today I would like to talk to you about my twin flame experience. So it's going to be my personal experience and the way I perceive this entire concept of twin flames. So without any further ado, let's dive right into it. First of all, I can share with you my personal story and then I will share with you my understanding of how everything works within the twin flame realm. So I met my twin flame in 2017, becoming 2018. It was at a New Year's party, but we have met energetically way before that in this life. Before having met him, I've been in karmic relationships, toxic relationships, and I was living in Sweden in 2014 and I was doing everything in my power to escape this place. During that time, I had found a university program that was in Spain. And for my thesis, I needed to create a video. And this acquaintance told me that she wants to come and help. I got her to Barcelona and she came with a camera. I didn't have one. We filmed the video for my thesis. And after I was done with that university, I did everything in my power to not come back to Sweden. I applied for jobs, even in Japan, but I applied in Sweden as well. And out of all the jobs that I applied, that's the one that I got. So I flew back to Sweden. And the time that I was doing all of this, was October 2017, and it was a very dark time for me because the previous university that I had just finished has been extremely traumatic. I was broken mentally, physically, emotionally. I was a complete wreck. I was an alcoholic. I had ended a very heavy karmic relationship and I moved to Stockholm back in my parents' house. I was being treated like a kid again. I felt very trapped and the job that I had, even though during the interview the lady seemed very nice and everything seemed to be perfect, she destroyed me even further. She was a total bully and I wasn't okay at home. I wasn't okay at the job. And so I chose to do something for myself also because my grandma had passed around that time. She had crossed over also in October 2017. And when she crossed over, I understood for the first time in my life that you cannot truly love another person unless you love yourself first. Up until October 2017, I used to believe that, of course, you can love the entire world while hating yourself or while sacrificing yourself and not tending to your needs. But when my grandma passed, I was too weak and too destroyed to fully be able to take care of her the way I really wanted to. And she helped me understand through her passing that I need to be able to take care first of myself to then be truly able to care for others. So what I started doing in the midst of the chaos and me being very stuck, I started going to martial arts again, which is something that I did my entire life. And 3 times a week for 3 months from October to December, actually January 1st, I would stop across the street from my dojo where there was a beautiful architecture studio that had beautiful models in the window and I would always stop and admire them. Then, this is all relevant because the New Year's came and for the New Year's, I had a deadline for the 2nd of January for work. And the deadline was immense. It was insane. And on top of that, an acquaintance was asking me to please go to her party. I kept saying no. And then at the end, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to come. We're just going to say Happy New Year. And then I'm going to go home because I need to work. But at 0000 at that party, I am meeting my twin flame. And 5 minutes later, because I told him I cannot stay, I need to go. I'm only going to be here for 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, it was 7 a.m. in the morning and I was shocked. I took a taxi home and tried to get whatever work together I could to meet my deadline. 6 days later, we told each other that we love each other. I was speaking on the phone with him. It was a Saturday and I was on my way to my martial arts training and I told him, I have to tell you something weird. I love you. I'm just going to say it. I love you. And he said, Thank God you said that because I love you too. And 2 weeks later, we moved in together. And here we are today. The thing with him is that I never, ever, ever, ever met a person in my life, ever, with whom I felt so natural with. I could completely be myself with this person. I told him everything. Like, hello, my name is, I'm crazy. I started talking about indigo children. I started talking about the multidimensional aspect of all that we are. I started talking about everything. I was just bleh. Everything just came out of me. And he told me that he was in awe with everything. And he was talking about indigo children and twin flames, but in another way. He was telling me about these creatures that had 4 arms and 4 legs, and that Zeus, if I remember correctly, had tore apart, and they were cursed to try and find each other through lifetimes and eternities to become whole again. And this is what we talked about in the first minutes and hours of meeting each other. He said that he felt like he was being peeled like an onion open by me, and I felt more seen in those minutes and those hours, and more understood than I ever did by any creature or being in my entire life. The more I spent time with him, the second time I met him, which was a few days later, it was insane because I realized that he's a mirror. I realized that looking at him, I was actually looking at me. And he's doing things exactly the same way that I do them, including the things that I don't like about myself. But it was so interesting because for the first time in my life, I knew exactly what to do with that. And I knew exactly how to deal with these aspects of him, because they are aspects of myself as well. So I just needed to look inside and to look introspectively and retrospectively at myself and my behavioral patterns and my thought patterns to then be able to navigate his way of being. So it was so beautiful to see this. Not only that, but first time I went to his place when we got off the metro, even though I had never been there before physically, I was like, oh, I've been here before. And you live in that building. So I just showed him the building that he lives in. And he was shocked, and he said, which floor? And I said 11, and he said no, and I said yes. So then at the 11th floor, when we got there, I got out of the elevator and I say, and that's your door. So I had been there before, even though, I dreamt that I was there before. And I told him we were exactly here. We were holding hands and I was looking at your building and you were telling me where you live. Another time when he came to my building, to my place, my parents' house, so not my place. Childhood, whatever. He was in my room and he said he didn't know I had cats. I didn't tell him. So he said that he dreamt that he was in the room, exactly the same scenery, standing exactly the way we were standing. And exactly that way, there were 2 black cats by the side of my bed, the way they were standing in the room at that moment. There were so many different beautiful things that we had already known and seen about each other. Looking back at it, I know that a few things happened that helped me get here. I was a wreck before meeting him. I was actually suicidal, and because conventional therapy had not helped me before, I looked for a quantum healing hypnotherapy session, and I had the session, but the session failed. I talk about this failed session in many of my videos. Thing is, even though this session failed, it was the fact that I took initiative to help myself by going to the dojo, to take care of my body, take care of myself, rebuild myself that way. I took initiative to seek help for myself through this session. And 3 weeks later, I met him. Not only have I met him, but I quit my job and I moved in with him. Not only that, but I also found out that that was his architecture studio and he was sitting right behind the curtain. So I would stop 3 times a week and stare in the window of his studio. And not only that, but I also found out that he also never wanted to go to that party. So he also got talked into being at that party that day. And the film that I had made for my thesis, for my university that I had just finished, I showed him the video and he said, wow, is it this video that my colleague wanted to borrow the camera for because she didn't have a camera. So my thesis work was filmed with his camera. And another crazy thing that happened, I remember that when I quit that job, I received from a friend a framed picture saying, I don't know, it said, I don't give an F, or 0 F's given. I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something like that. And when she gave me this, again, my twin flame said, I made that picture, because it was edged in wood, and he had made that picture for someone else who had given it to my friend, and now my friend was giving it to me. So a lot of things were coming back full circle. And this is what I meant earlier when I said that we have met energetically before, because my thesis was filmed with his camera. The people that knew him before I got to know him were telling me about this guy that nobody can talk to because he hates small talk, and I dislike small talk as well. So when I met him, we wouldn't stop talking. And every time I'm with him, I can talk to him about everything and anything related to anything at all. Now, to put it all into perspective and why all of this happens and the way it all happened, and why many people have a hard time finding their twin flame or making it work with their twin flame, is because we are expecting to have another savior come and save us. We are expecting to have another relationship where, oh, I cannot love myself unless somebody else loves me, or I am unlovable, or I need my existence to be validated by another person. A twin flame relationship will never be a match for that, because a twin flame relationship is a complete mirror of who it is that you are. You are in a relationship with your soul. Twin flames have the same soul imprint, the same soul signature on the 7th and higher chakras. Only the first 6 chakras are different, are unique, and they are connected to the physicality of the body, which we embody, of our physicality. But the 7th chakra and the other higher chakras are all the same soul imprint. So you are in a relationship with your soul. It is a soul in 2 bodies. When I met him, I didn't know about twin flames. But one thing I always said is that it feels like your soul is not just in my body, but it's in your body as well. Every time I sit and talk to my higher self, and I get things that I don't want to hear about what to do with my life, and things that I need to implement within my everyday life in order to integrate my true authentic expression within this physicality. When I receive messages that I don't want to hear, that are too hard for me to implement, or that would require me to get out of my programs to implement, I always talk to my husband I always forget that he will give me the exact same answer that my higher self just gave me. Word by freaking word. So being in a relationship with your twin flame means being in a relationship with your soul, with you in another body. With you in another body. We are one soul in 2 bodies. And it's funny because I am creative. I love architecture. I have studied fashion design. I have been creating clothes since the age of 14. I've been sewing my own clothes. I have created a lot. I love all these things. I love technical drawings. I love math. I love geometry. I love these things. And he is an architect. But my true soul calling is to actually help people. Another thing that I wanted to do ever since before high school is that I wanted to be a psychologist. I always wanted to help people in a way or another. But I ended up doing the easy thing that I was already good at, making clothes. Not just that, but everybody's a doctor in my family. So there was this mentality of psychologists are growing on trees, they would say. Nobody needs more psychologists. There are enough in the world. And so I thought, I cannot be that. So then I'd rather go on the design route and the creative route. But when I met him, I was pushed in this direction in which I'm going today. And it was such a scary adventure for me. It was horrible, and it still is. I am still uncomfortable doing what I'm doing. I love doing quantum healing sessions though, hypnotherapy sessions. It's the best thing that I know in the world. But I am forced to align with my soul, with my higher self in every single way, on an every moment basis, not just everyday basis, every moment basis. There is a blueprint that I need to follow in this life with how I eat, how I speak, how I sleep, what I look like, how I dress, and I have to follow it. Every time I don't follow through, bad things happen. And it's so beautiful because I miss creating, and I feel like I've been mourning this part of me for quite a while. But my husband just told me recently that he is so happy that I'm doing what I'm doing, because in a way, through me doing what I'm doing, helping people become their authentic selves, integrate their true essence, he feels like he does this work. That is not just me doing it, but that he does it through me as well. Then I realized that our soul actually does everything that we love doing. Through him, our soul, my soul, is being creative, making houses and creating all types of things. And through me, we are helping people become their true essence. One important thing to know is that the only way you can attract your twin flame in your life is by being okay with loving yourself, being okay with taking care of yourself. This is something that I've never done before I met my husband, my twin flame. I've always sacrifice everything for others. I would always put others in front of me. And this just doesn't work. And I'm being scolded by him. I'm being scolded by life itself, by the universe, because we are the universe. But not only that, you are your twin flame. So you need to be okay with yourself first. You need to learn how to take care of yourself first, how to love yourself first, and then your twin flame will appear. Another reason why your twin flame might not be appearing, even though I do think that this first one is the main one, is because there are still things that you need to experience in life before you meet your twin flame. In my case, I know that I needed to experience every single thing that I did in order to be able to facilitate the sessions that I offer today. Because I meet clients that have been through extremely traumatic events. And have I not gone through my share of trauma in my life, then I wouldn't be able to hold a genuine space for every single person that I meet and that I get to work with. And so I do understand that this is absolutely necessary. And it was also necessary for me to understand the duality of this world and to integrate everything within a unitary consciousness. Just in retrospective and from my own experience, I do think that there might be still lessons that need to be integrated and that need to be learned. And how you know what type of lessons you need to learn and integrate is by seeing what it is that you are not responsive to, what it is that you are trying to reject in your life, what it is that you're trying to push away in your life, and what it is that you wish for in your life. Because even with desires, the more that we desire something, the more we actually push it away. And we desire it because we are unhappy with our current state and current situation. So instead, the lesson usually is to learn to be happy and to learn to navigate from a neutral perspective our current situation. And when we begin to do that, we make space for new things because we no longer resist what is. When we resist what is, we create contraction, we remain contracted, not only physically, but overall, we create a wall around us that does not allow us to break through into, what it is that we actually came here to experience, the beauty of life. And that may include, for those of us who are looking for this, our twin flame. I wasn't looking for my twin flame because I didn't know what a twin flame was. But I was desperately looking for the one, for a person that would love me the way that I love others, to have that love reflected back at me. And now I have that. But at the same time, I also have someone that pushes me out of my comfort zone on a daily basis. And the beautiful thing is that I also push him too out of his comfort zone on a daily basis. Maybe this is why you've been hearing so many times that twin flame relationship is a hard one. For me, it's the most beautiful thing in the world that could have ever happened. But I think this also comes with the fact that I made peace with my past and I made peace with everything that has happened and has still been happening, because even though I met my twin flame, It's not like the world just magically became amazing all of a sudden. I kept meeting people and I kept being put into situations that were traumatic, very traumatic. I kept experiencing loss and experiencing abandonment. I still had to learn to calibrate everything and to neutralize everything. And this happens also because, you are testing yourself. Your soul is testing you. Like, have you really learned? Where are we at? How far have we come? Life is a spiral. And the spiral means that you keep repeating the same experiencing, revisiting it over and over again until it no longer affects you. And when it no longer affects you, there's no need for it to appear in your life any longer. Just because you meet your twin flame, it doesn't mean that all of that will go away. It just means that you will have probably more tools to navigate it, because you have done the work before meeting your twin flame. So you're not having more tools to navigate it because all of a sudden you have a wise person to save you, but because you have learned how to save yourself previously. You have learned how to deal with things previously. And they will keep repeating until you no longer allow them to repeat, because you've learned a lesson. There's no use for them anymore to repeat. The main thing to take from this is that a twin flame relationship is a relationship with your soul. It will be another you. It's the same personality with different programs in a different body, but it's a relationship with you. So are you ready to be in a relationship with yourself? If not, what is it that you need to work on in order to learn to love, respect, accept, and care for the person that your soul embodies today, the personality that your soul embodies today, the body that your soul embodies today. And once you come to terms with that and it becomes an active, you don't just say it, but you actually do it and you feel it, an active choice, feeling, thought within your everyday life, that's when your twin flame will show up, or that's when you're ready to receive that beautiful part of you. I hope that this helps, and let me know if you have met your twin flame. Let me know what experience you have regarding this. And if you have more information or know of videos that talk about this, please let me know, because I don't even know how to search for them. I'm just telling you what I know, what I have experienced, and what I have understood from all of this. I bid you a most beautiful moment of the infinite now. If you do like this video, please like and subscribe so that it may reach as many people out there as possible. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the comments below. Take care of yourself and have an amazing one. Bye.